Hello, artist friends. Today, what I'm doing is I'm using the open cup technique and we're going to see what happens. So, I've used this before and I got a really good result. So, we'll see. So, I'm starting out here. I mix up the white, I put 1 drop of silicone in it, and then I've got mostly cool colors and gold. So, we'll see how those work out. So the way to start off, from what I've learned, and there's multiple ways to do a lot of these techniques, but this way is putting a little bit of your base color on the canvas, and in my case it's white. Then I'm using a cookie cutter, and I'm just putting it on top of the base color, and then adding my colors one at a time. So I'm trying to cover each color evenly as I can. And then what you'll see me do once I add the colors is I will lift up the cookie cutter just a little bit to let just a little paint out at a time. So here I'm getting ready to start lifting the cookie cutter up. And once I start that, you can just do it a little at a time to see the paint coming out. And then you may start to get some cells already developing. You can also use your torch to sort of develop some of the cells. In this case, you can start seeing there's a few that start to develop at first. So here, I'm just lifting it up just a little at a time, and you can see the paint color start to come out. So you will need to add more paint as you go. There's not like a definite amount that I measure or anything like that. It is basically just your intuition as far as how much to use and how much to add. You'll start to see it on the canvas. The cup will either move or you can move it, and then you can also tilt the canvas to start spreading out some of the paint. And you'll see me doing that here in just a moment. One of the things I did, or I guess one of the mistakes I made on this painting, and at least in my eyes, it's a mistake, is making my white base a little bit thinner, or, too thin probably, than the other paint that I was using. So the other paint was thicker, the white was thin. And what happened is the other paint sort of sat on top, or I guess it kind of, sunk down a little bit. And it didn't want to move. So the white, whenever I start tilting it, you'll see, but the white moves really quickly, and the big pile of paint in the middle does not move as quickly. So it didn't completely cover the canvas on the sides and everything. So I had to use some of the paint that spilled over to sort of cover those areas. And that's not my favorite thing to do. So next time I'll have to make sure that the paint is all the same consistency. Here you can really see what I'm talking about when I'm tilting the canvas. The white is moving pretty quickly, and the blue-green color in the center is sort of sitting there. So I tilt it more, obviously, but next time I do need to make sure that that is the same consistency. All the paint is the same consistency. So here I'm getting ready to lift up the cookie cutter, and I've seen people do different things. I'm trying to sort of swirl it around, and it made a design that almost looks like a flower to me. You'll see it does stretch out, so it ends up looking a little bit different. But you can do sort of, I guess, whatever you want to do in the center. You can take a paintbrush and, swirl it around. You could do what I'm doing, and it's just basically leaving it there and stretching it out some. There's also, you have plenty of options as far as what you can do. It's just whatever you want your design to look like, whatever you want your composition to look like in the end. You'll know what to do. So you'll see I get a lot of paint on my hands, and I was not wearing gloves. Usually I don't wear gloves. I probably should start, but I honestly I didn't know what to do at this point because I had so much paint, but I just left it and kept going. Here's where I'm using the paint that spilled over the sides to sort of fill in those areas on the canvas where it did not cover. And the reason why I said I don't usually like doing this is because it just looks out of place to me. It looks different. And I know sometimes you have to do it just because you may not have had enough paint, and it just didn't cover. But there were some areas of, like right there, you will see me, I'm sort of trying to make the white spots go away because they were too much of a focal point. They were taking away from what I thought was the focal point in the center. So I've found some of the paint over in the side, and I'm sort of trying to get it to blend in, but this is not something I generally like to do. Here is my finished piece. You'll see this is when it's still wet. So I just wanted to show you guys it. I think it turned out pretty good. There were some difficulties I had, but overall, I'm really pleased with it. So if you like this video, you like more tutorials, please like this video and subscribe to my channel.